Welcome everybody, we're in September for the Salem Phantoms franchise, just a few more weeks to go, and we have two more regular season matchups. The first one against Madison, we'll be playing here in a second. We have Johnny Cabrera on the mound, 8-9 record so far, ERA just below 5, looking to give us a couple good last starts to end the season. Madison hovering right around that 500 mark, but likely won't make the playoffs. They're a few games under the 500 mark. We get a look at the standings. We are currently one game ahead of the Ottawa Beavers for first place in the American League East, which again, we have a matchup with them to close out the season, the last series of September, so that should be a good one once we get there. Get a look at the rest of the playoff picture here. The Pioneers still in first place in the Central with the Mustangs closely behind. Again, historically, the Mustangs tend to be pretty good against us in the playoffs, the Phantoms. And in the West, you have the Zephyrs and Astronauts. Also the Quakes and Cougars within striking distance, so 4-team race over there in the American League West. But here's a look at the wild card. The Beavers hold the first wild card spot by almost 7 games, and we're a game ahead of them. So playoff likelihood pretty high right now. Again, though, there are a lot of teams vying for that second wild card spot. So it's just a matter of, for the most part, unless we go on a lofty losing streak, will we win the division? Or will we have to play that one-game wild card? Both us and the Beavers are 5-5 during their last 10 ball games, so we're just kind of coasting right now. Quick look at the rotation. Newsome right around that 500 win percentage mark, but an ERA right at 3. He's been kind of hovering around 4 for most of the season, so that's a good sight to see. Joe Johnson, 7-2, 2.67 ERA, doing very well in his first big league action. Somehow Lou Reyes got moved down to the 4th spot in the rotation. He is 18-5, 2.81 ERA, still hasn't eclipsed that century mark for strikeouts. I doubt he actually will, but you would think he's a good Cy Young candidate. He's 4th in the rotation behind Gonzalez, who has been on a tear recently, I suppose. ERA down to 4.5, a couple more wins on his docket. Bullpen's been holding strong too. Lawson still in the closing role. Bauer and Denson holding down the setup roles. Chung, since we called him up, has a 4.20 ERA, but definitely better than the guy we traded away in the same role. Robles also an ERA around 4. Irizarry's on a hot streak. We have him on the bench, 3 home runs, 264 average, so the batting average is definitely on the up and up. Morcaldi on a cold streak, however. And we also have Cordova in the 9th spot in the cold streak, but Sato's been hot. Taylor's been hot. A lot of these guys hovering around the 260 average mark. William, one of our best batters, still doing really well. And Campillo still just hovering in that 300 average range. They have him and McBride all the way down here in the 6th and 7th spot. We'll probably adjust that for our game lineup. But here we go against the Senators. We've already taken the first 2 games of this series against them. Just not a very good batting year for them. That's kind of what's leading them out of the playoffs, 241 average on their team. So we do have a few guys that are tired, and I'm going to give them a rest, mostly Patrick William over there at second base. We're giving the start to Navarro, who was recently called back up. Average, not great, but again, we do need to rest some of these guys going into the playoffs. We also have Irizarry with the start over Cordova since he's been on that cold streak recently. Looking for win number 89 during the season. We'll see how Ottawa has fared during the middle of this matchup. They'll have the updates on the scoreboard as we continue. Again, there's a look at Cabrera's stats. Serviceable, not great, but I mean, as far as the 5th starter in the rotation goes, not bad. Their leadoff hitter is batting 184 so far this season. That's just indicative of how much Madison's been struggling to swing the bat so far this year. And it's a leadoff walk to start off the ball game. So probably some speed on deck. I didn't get a quick look, but yes, indeed, 75 speed, 86 stealing ability over there at first base. That one's going to be over Cervantes' head, and down the line, they'll likely get 2 runners in scoring position to start off the first inning. They indeed hold at 2nd and 3rd, so right off the bat, Cabrera in some trouble. A leadoff walk followed by a double, and now the power hitter's coming up to the plate. That one's roped out to left field. Irizarry with his speed is going to get there. Both runners are going to take off, and they do both advance. It's a 1-0 lead for Madison. Glad Irizarry was able to catch up to that. Could have been a 2-run double. We've seen this a lot this season, just the pitchers kind of struggle to settle in the first inning, and then they're able to, for the most part, continue on from there. We'll see if Cabrera can do that going into the later innings. This has been a 10-pitch AB so far for the cleanup hitter, Dion Watson. Can Cabrera get him out? It's going to be a grounder to first, and that will score the 2nd run of the inning. Good play by Cervantes to get the out at first, but no chance at home plate. Madison with a lot of crisp liners so far today. A few of them have been flagged down over in left and right field, and the early 2-0 lead for the Senators as the Phantoms get their first at-bats here coming up. Sato will lead us off. A lot of extra base power, some decent speed. So there's a sinker right down the middle. Both the pitchers on the mound today have low velocity fastballs that kind of top out around 92, 93 miles an hour. And there's a ground ball through the hole for Sato to lead us off. We get our leadoff base runner on as well. So Patrick William, our normal 2-spot hitter with a bit more contact on deck. McCall gets that designation today, and he has a good battle going here. 3-2. Taylor up next. Again, Taylor on a hot streak, and he hits a lot of crisp liners as well. McCall has to protect on a fastball high in the zone. Gets a good piece of it, but that's going to be flagged down in center field for out number 1. Taylor on the fastball inside is able to keep the hand steady and knock it the other way. So now we have 2 runners on. And here goes. We put McBride back up in the cleanup spot. 21 home runs so far on the year. Takes a slider that breaks right back down the middle. Cervantes on deck. He's the 5-hole hitter. Again, not very good against righties, so we just have him a bit further down in the lineup. Looks like the Beavers did win today, so we are a half game ahead at the moment. A loss here would bring us even. Good foul off by McBride. Full count now to McBride. A lot of breaking pitches inside down here. They go back to it. He's going to rip it down the line. It stays fair, and we're going to stick with him at first for the single just to avoid getting thrown out. We get that run right back. It's 2-1 and a runner on third with 1 away. You keep attacking him inside. I mean, that pitch is off the plate, but we were able to adjust. Recognize the pattern. Cervantes to second. We tried to go the other way with it like Cervantes normally does, and that bounces into a double play. So we do get one of the runs back. Could have tied the game, had a good opportunity. Instead, we will go to the second inning and see if we can settle in with Cabrera on the mound. For as low as the batting averages have been for Madison, they have been making Cabrera work quite a bit. And I have noticed the few base runners they've had on today have had some good speed on the base path. So maybe their contact is low, but their speed is what they specialize in. There's a rip up the middle. McCall empty on the dive, and again, 86 speed on the base path. So we're going to have to be really careful with some of these runners today for Madison. That one's a slider that might have stayed middle in. I thought it was on the outside part of the plate. A great swing there by Madison to lace it into the gap the opposite way. They'll score another run on the RBI double. We'll get a look where the slider is. And yeah, I mean, outside part of the plate, it wasn't off the plate, as there's the steal attempt to third, and they do get it. So Cabrera's just been really struggling today, locating some pitches, but also dealing with some of those runners on the base paths from the stretch. Now they have a runner on third with nobody out. Line out to McCall is going to keep the runner at third, so there's a big out number 1. It's going to be out to left field. Irizarry, not much common fielding out there, but we'll see what his arm is like. And he does not get it home in time. It's a 4-1 game for Madison. There's the last out of the second. So Cabrera, 40 pitches to this point, 4 earned runs. And Madison will have a good part of the top of their lineup upcoming in the third inning. Campillo will lead off the bottom of the second, looking to keep his average above 300. He's been just above that mark pretty much the last 3 or 4 months, if I can remember correctly. He started off around 400, got on a cold streak, and he's been hitting about 300 ever since. That one's laced out to left center field. That one has a chance. Center fielder back at the wall, leaps, misses it. It's going to be off the wall. Campillo, will he have enough speed to go to third? Probably shouldn't have stretched that one. We need base runners, and that's an out number 1. I saw the ball bounce back to center field and thought we had a good chance, but Campillo only 26 speed. And we should have just taken the leadoff double, in all honesty. Cabrera with the 3-1 count. Irizarry on deck, and they're going to call that one a ball 4. Looked like it was on the black on the backdoor slider. Front door slider, excuse me. 1-1 count, though, to Irizarry. Oh, he laced that fastball. PCI was good. Just happened to be right at the second baseman. 2 away. Navarro will look to keep the second inning alive, but with his 193 average, probably not going to be the case. There's a 3-2 count. I forgot to run. Late on the pitch. Just all sorts of convoluted right now. And we move to the third. First pitch of the third inning will go straight to Taylor for a big out number 1. So Cabrera will keep going from the windup for now. 3 and 4 hitters upcoming next though. That one's out to right. So they're starting to pop up the pitches maybe a bit more than the first couple innings. They've had some solid liners so far today. And we need a big 1-2-3 inning here from Cabrera if possible. The number 4 hitter up next. Two-seamer, good location right on the corner. Oh, look at this guy with his mustache. What the hell? Didn't even notice that the first go up. Out to first, Cervantes knocks it down. He should have enough time with the speed coming down the baseline, and there's a big 1-2-3 inning for Cabrera. Now we have the top of the lineup to try and make some noise here. Sato with a single through the hole last time out. Been a good run producer, it looks like, from the last few games. 8 runs in the last 8 games, so averaging about 1 game. Also got one today. That's a fastball high in the zone. That's popped up to center for out number 1. McCall on a little bit of a hot streak recently. 378 average in the last 8 games. But 0 for 2 so far today, as that's a ground out to first base. Taylor was able to fight off a pitch inside for a single last time out. 3-2 count. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. He pulls it, and it will die right in front of the warning track for out number 3 in the third. We move on to the 4th inning. Cabrera was able to get a 1-2-3 last inning, starting to go a little bit low on energy. We'll see if we can maybe get him through 5. But if he does give up any good extra base hits or runs from here on out, I may have to look into the bullpen. There's a good 2-seamer tailing out of the zone. That's popped up behind third. Cabrera is there for out number 1. So he set down the last 5 batters, if I can recall correctly. There's a changeup, though, left down the middle of the plate. The batter goes the other way to the warning track, caught by Irizarry for out number 2. That one's a fastball down the middle. Irizarry back. Going to bounce off the warning track and off the wall for a 2-out double. So Cabrera with some work to do to try and keep runs off the board here. Hanging a few more pitches, which is partially my user error, but also just as he tires. Energy getting close to that yellow mark already. 65th pitch of the game so far. Tails outside. 9-hole on deck, full count. Cabrera will try and get the curveball out of the zone here. And that's past the pitcher's mound, up the middle for a base hit. Here comes the run. Taylor's throw home is late. Madison takes a 5-1 lead. Oh man, we fooled the batter right there. He was able to hit a little bit of a nubber back towards the mound, but past the pitcher, and that will score the run. Nothing you can really do there. I mean, we located our pitch, just a good hit by the batter. And I think after this 4th inning, we'll actually move to the bullpen from here. There's the slider, and Cabrera gives up 5 runs in 4 innings. That will be the end of his day. We'll look at the bullpen. Most everybody is rested, and I don't believe we've given much of a look to Dominic Crowder so far this season. I'm going to go ahead and warm him up, see if he can eat a couple of innings. 4-hole hitter Randall McBride up next to lead off the bottom of the 4th. We're down 4 here. We had a slight rally in the first. 2nd inning started off with a double that I mistakenly tried to stretch into a triple. So that could have been a couple runs that we missed in terms of opportunities. But even so, Madison's been really hitting the ball well today, which before the game I mentioned their average, not very great so far this season. They are playing well today. And now a full count to McBride, 3-2 count with Cervantes on deck. That'll be a slider that does not catch the inside part of the plate. It's ball 4. Again, really attacking McBride on the inside part of the plate. He turned on one last inning, or the first inning, his first at bat for a single. Now takes the walk. Cervantes will also take ball 4. So 2 straight walks. We have something going here to start off. Campillo, credited with a double his last time out, has a 1-2 count here. Had to fight off that slider. It had some late breaking movement. Don't have much speed on the bases though either. So we do have an extra base hit opportunity. No, I mean he'll just hit into a double play instead. It'll be up to Cabrera to try and get that runner home from third at the very least. Cabrera not very clutch so far this season. A batting average under 200 with runners in scoring position. And that's going to be a lazy fly out to center field. Just couldn't quite push it the other way. We'll end the 4th still down by 4 runs, and Dominic Crowder will come in from the bullpen. There's a look at the stats. 6-1 so far. ERA just below 4.5. A lot of walks so far this season, and lefties have been hitting him exceptionally well. He is in that long reliever role since he is one of our relievers with the lowest attribute scores, but at the same time has some of the most stamina. So it kind of works a bit twofold. He'll face the top of the lineup, Jackson Hubbard up first. Taps foul with the slurve. And he chases it for the strikeout. Good start to Dominic Crowder's day. Now facing the two-hitter, Oliveros. That one's bounced to third. Late on the curveball. Cabrera, strong throw to first. We'll get out number 2 for Crowder. Crowder with a fastball, sinker, curveball, and slurve. Try and go back to the slurve with 2 strikes if we can. Worked on the first batter. Misses with a fastball down the middle. The batter is late though, and that one just went foul. The sinker is late on the inside pitch. Sato should catch this to get us out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 from Crowder, much needed. 8-9-1 due up. Irizarry with a 1-2 count. Ooh, the slider gets him. That was a soft little slider, the first strikeout of the day, and that one was a good pitch that froze me there. He gets the next batter as well. Some good breaking stuff this inning from Ken Connor, the pitcher. 12-6 curve that just broke out of the zone. Slider that caught the high part of the zone. Now Sato with a 1-2 count. Fastball nearly got his spot, but he takes it for ball number 2. 80th pitch of the outing so far coming up for Connor. Now it's a slider inside, nearly hit Sato. We'll see what he can get here on the full count offering. Looking for a fastball high and in maybe. It's a 12-6 curve high and in. And he's able to stay with it for the single. Trying to go again for that off-speed pitch high in the zone, try and nip the top of the zone. We're on it this time. McCall with 2 outs and a runner on first. Not much power, so just looking for maybe an extra base hit here if anything, or keeping the line moving. Stays with it on the inside fastball, and that's laced up the middle for another base hit. Some 2-out magic here for the Phantoms, and now we have the big boys coming up. Ricky Taylor up next. He does have a 1-2 count. See if he goes for the slider outside or if he jams him in with a fastball. It's a fastball. Taylor's a bit late on it, but that's going to make it into the gap. And with his speed, this could be a triple. No, I'm not going to push that again, but we will score 2 runs to make it a 5-3 ball game. McBride up next with the runner in scoring position. Taylor's 35th double of the year. He's really good at those liners, like I mentioned, for singles or doubles. McBride with a 1-2 count. Oh, they went high again with that off-speed stuff. Caught the outside corner. McBride swings and misses. So we get 2 runs back. We're making a ball game of it now. Crowder retired the first 3 batters of his day, but now has a full count to the cleanup hitter, Deion Watson, with his handlebar mustache. This is a completely fictional roster, I might add. So, like, the computer added that mustache in just by creating the players on its own. Again, I just simmed this franchise 30 years into the future, and I have no idea what any of these players are. That one's going to be late down the line. Irizarry, does he have enough speed to get there? He does. He backhands it for the out. A big out, number 1. Oh, that one's going to be a sinker that's pulled into the seats for a home run. Madison strikes right back with a solo home run. Sinker inside. It broke a little bit back over the plates, but I would not say it was a bad pitch necessarily. Crowder looking to get out of his second inning of work, and then we'll bring it into the big boys out of the bullpen. Bullpen is our strength, aside from Crowder and maybe one other guy in terms of ratings, so we should be able to hold Madison scoreless from here. We have 4 more innings of offense potentially to tie this game back up, but Prado makes it a 3-run ball game again on the inside sinker. You get a look there. Cervantes will be the leadoff hitter. They're sticking with Connor, the starting pitcher. 92 pitches as he faces his first batter in the 6th, though we have been making him work. We're hoping that he can leave some of those off-speed pitches up. Cervantes tries to pull the slider. PCI placement was a little bit off. Some late break to that slider so far today. And there's out number 1. Campillo tries to go the other way. Doesn't get much of that fastball, though. That's a lazy out number 2. Cabrera, we'll see if he can get on base for Irizarry. A little bit of pop in the bat in the 8th spot, but we just have one more batter to get there. 2-2 count to Cabrera. Down the line, that one's going to stay fair. And there is a double for Cabrera, so Irizarry will have a chance here with 2 away. Up next, here we go. Irizarry facing Connor, who's over 100 pitches now. That's going to be laced into right field. Good placement again on the fastball, but right at the fielder for the second time today. We're bringing in Chuck Bauer, who has lowered his ERA a touch since the last matchup, but did lose another game down to a 1-5 record. His confidence Not great at all so far. He did well for us in our last outing, though. Got a lot of strikeouts, so looking to lock down the 7th here and keep Madison off the board. There's a strikeout to start things off. I don't think Bauer warmed up properly, so his stamina is also a bit lower than normal. Struck out the first 2 batters. I was going to say we should maybe go to another pitcher in the 8th, but if he keeps striking out batters like this, we'll stick with him. Back to the top of the lineup. 11th pitch of the inning so far for Bauer, and a 3rd straight strikeout. I think all of them were on the slider too, so great 1-2-3, much needed from Bauer there. Keeps it a 3-run ball game going into the 7th. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Morcaldi as the pinch hitter for Navarro in the 9th spot. Navarro, not a good batting average like I mentioned so far this year, and he does even worse against lefties. Montgomery, the pitcher, with kind of a sidearm delivery. Fastball probably should have been strike 3, but Morcaldi takes it back to a 2-2 count. 2-2 is a fastball down the middle. Center fielder just gets there in time. 4 out, number 1. We're back to the top of the lineup now. Leading off is Sato, 2 for 3 so far today on the opposite part of the plate, though. Switch hitter at the top of the lineup. Sato definitely better against right-handed pitching, though. A little bit more contact and power for both of those. Full count. Good changeup. Everything looks like it's going to break inside to the right-handed batter, but stayed outside. Man, they're just owning that outside part of the plate, and a 1-2-3 inning for Madison. Gonna warm up Denson here just in case. We'll let Bauer go another inning, though. Struck out the side last inning. Confidence, though, still not very high so far. Fastball and slider combination really working well, as there's a fastball left a bit down the middle of the plate, but right at Taylor in straightaway center for out number 1. Facing the middle part of the lineup, though, which is the most dangerous part of the lineup. Madison looking for some slight insurance as they go into the later innings, trying to hold the lead. There's a single out to left in front of Irizarry. Man, they just have speed up and down the lineup. Even their 3-hitter has 76 speed. Watson 0 for 3 so far today, looking to get something going for the Senators. Bounces into a double plate, we'll take that, and Bauer will end his day with 2 scoreless innings. I'm going to actually give Chung the last inning, though. They have a couple lefties upcoming, our first usage with Theodore Chung. And the new pitcher, Milt Miles, throws 99-mile-an-hour fastballs, so we're going to have to maybe shorten up on the sticks here, but throws a curveball for strike number 2 to the first batter. 3, 4, and 5. If we're going to make some noise, this is it right here. Taylor, out to left field. Does it have enough? No, it's caught on the warning track for out number 1. Just missed that one. It stayed down the middle. We were looking for something a little bit more low and in. So it'll be McBride, Cervantes, and Campillo if the inning continues. Some of our best extra base hitters. Although, McBride with a 3-1 count. Any base runner is a good base runner at this point. Misses with the fastball high. All right, so McBride is on. Tying run still on the on-deck circle, however, and Cervantes will try and keep the line moving. Another full count, so that curveball is a bit unpredictable. Some good snap on the inside part of the plate, but the outside ones, he's lost the handle on. Goes with the fastball. We're a bit low with the PCI placement, and that's a fly out to center. So it'll be up to Campillo now with 2 away. 1-1 count. So again, really featuring that fastball and curveball. 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a power curveball. The 2-2 past the first baseman, and now our tying run is going to come up to the plate. I'm going to bring in Patrick William off the bench. Our bottom of the lineup just doesn't really have much in the way of contact or power. William, one of our best contact hitters. We need at least a couple runs here if possible. And there we go. William out to right field. It's going to go over the right fielder and bounce over the wall for a double. So we do get 1 run. Could have been more. William with some power that he doesn't usually feature, and we have that short wall over there in right field. Irizarry with 2 runners on. He has even more power against lefties. A home run here would be insane. So there's a curveball just out of the zone. But yeah, Irizarry with over 90 power versus lefties, so this is actually the matchup we wanted here. He goes the other way. He's late on the fastball, and that will be out number 3. So we do get 1 run back, but we leave a couple more runners in scoring position. We're down by 2, and Chung will try and keep it there going into the 9th. So here's Chung. He has a fastball, changeup, and slider. Those are his 3 pitches. Fastball tops out at about 93. Changeup's pretty fast, all things considered. All of his pitches with a 5 to 7 mile an hour difference. There's a slider that brushes back down the middle, catches the lower part of the zone. That's exactly what you want. He has 2 lefties to start off the inning. We get that lefty-lefty matchup, and you're looking for those 2 straight outs so you can get to the 3rd hitter with those 2 outs. There's a pop out to Cervantes. So there's a good first couple batters by Chung. We have Lawson to come in if we run into trouble, but again, 2 big outs. And there is a fly ball to Taylor out there in center. All right, so it's up to the Phantoms now with the 9-hitter, I believe, up first, which is Morcaldi, since we brought him in. Yes, so Morcaldi will lead off the inning, followed by the top of the lineup. This is their closer, Armando Hernandez. Good hits per 9 attribute, but doesn't strike out a lot of batters, so we might be able to fight him off quite a bit. Morcaldi, a little bit better against left-handed throwers as well. Running fastball, changeup, sinker, slider. So a lot of low breaking pitches as he goes high in the zone, and we're late on it. Morcaldi with a lazy fly over to right field to start off the 9th. And Sato, again, not very good against lefties, but he has a couple hits so far today from the right-hand side of the plate. There's a running fastball that breaks back over the plate for strike number 2. And he misses outside again, so there we go. McCall is your tying runner, 1 for 4 so far today. One of our best contact hitters. He is, again, not very good against lefties. A lot of our guys are good against righties. He has a 3-1 count. Another walk here would be very much appreciated. There's a changeup low in the zone, which will bring it back to full. So here's the pitch right here. This could decide the ball game. Oh, they have the guy shifted over at 3rd, and that will end the game. He pulled that down the line. I didn't know McCall was that much of a pull hitter, but there we go. Madison wins the game. We're back in a tie with the Beavers for first place, and there's our first loss on stream of the season. We gave up 5 runs with the starter Cabrera, who falls to 8 and 10, and the Senators were able to hold on from there. 10 hits as a ball club, but we couldn't come in through the clutch in multiple opportunities. We also ran ourselves out of that 2nd inning with the leadoff runner being thrown out at 3rd. So, wow, all right. Things are really going to get intense here for that series with the Beavers to end the year. So the Phantoms are 88 and 62. So are the Beavers. We're in a flat-footed tie with 12 games left to go and 3 big ones to end the season against Ottawa. We have a lot of divisional matchups after this 2-game series with the Lightning. Really getting intense as we push for the playoffs. We'll see you for the conclusion of the regular season next time out. Signing off for now, this is Kasabe.